For this example, we need to find the domain of the function g of x equals negative 2x plus 1 over x squared minus 9. To find the domain of any rational function, you have to remember that anything over 0 is undefined. So that means that the denominator, x squared minus 9, cannot be 0. Because if it was 0, it would make the function undefined. Now we have to solve for x and figure out what x cannot be. We can do this a couple of different ways. We can either solve by factoring or solve using the square root method. First, I'm going to solve by factoring. If we solve by factoring, we can see that this is the difference of squares, and the square root of x is just x. The square root of 9 is 3. We need to make one of them plus and one of them minus. Now we can make both of our factors equal, well, not equal to 0, and x minus 3 not equal to 0. Now we can solve both of them. So here we can subtract 3. So x cannot be negative 3, and here if we add 3, x cannot be positive 3. We could also solve this using the square root method. If we add 9 to both sides first, and then the opposite of squaring something is square rooting something. So if we square root, this square and the square root will cancel out, and we'll have x does not equal, but we have to remember to add a plus or minus. The square root of 9 is 3. So x cannot be the positive 3 or negative 3. So we get the same answer either way. But now we want to put this in set builder and interval notation. For interval notation, we can make a graph first. So if 0 is here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, this is negative 3, and this goes all the way to negative infinity and infinity. So because x cannot be negative 3, we put an open circle at negative 3. And because x cannot be 3, we put an open circle at 3. But x can be anything else except for those two numbers. So we can shade everything from negative infinity all the way up to negative 3, and everything from negative 3 to 3, and everything from 3 to infinity. Now we can create our interval. So interval notation. So this goes all the way from negative infinity to negative 3, negative infinity to negative 3. We need to use parentheses because it's an open circle. Then there's a union, and it goes all the way from negative 3 to 3. And then there's another union. This is at 3, and this one is at negative 3. So if you have two things that x cannot be, there should be two unions. And this goes all the way from 3 to infinity. So this is our interval notation. Now if we put this in set builder notation, we have x such that x cannot be 3 and x cannot be negative 3.